Hi, everyone. It's Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So if this is one of your first times joining me, welcome. I'm so glad that you found me. If you're watching me from YouTube, make sure that you're subscribed, hit that bell, and you'll get notified immediately as soon as I upload a new video. And if you're joining me from my Facebook page or my Facebook group, that's awesome. If you're on my page, make sure that you've liked it, and then that way you also get notified as soon as I go live on my video. So this is Thursday night, and this is part of my Now What series. So basically what I do is I go find something that is in the annual catalog, and annual or the current JDD mini catalog, and then I find maybe another use that you've never ever thought of doing with it. But also what I'm doing lately is I'm kind of going along with those weekly specials. Have you seen the weekly specials this week? I like to show you that you could use them. Plus, also check out that huge 15% off stamp sale. So I'm going to use a couple of stamp sets that I have not used yet. And then also we are going to feature the masking paper. This masking paper is on sale. I believe it's on sale for about $11 in Canada. Check your local markets. I'm not sure how much it would be there, but this sale goes till next Wednesday, which would be it's September the, oh goodness, 15th. So till the 22nd when we get some new ones. So this masking paper is amazing, and why not grab it when it's on sale? Plus those stamp sets, right? Okay, so I am going to show you the two stamp sets that I'm going to use tonight. I am going to use this Tropical Hideaway. Background stamps are amazing stamps to play around with. Now, I have a vision in my head, so I'm hoping that it's going to work. So let me just jump on down to my desktop here. So this is the Tropical Hideaway that I'm going to use today. And plus also, have you seen this stamp set, the Stepping Stones stamp set? It has some fantastic sayings on it. We're going to go with this one. An obstacle is often a stepping stone, which is so appropriate. You know, like when we meet obstacles, sometimes it just helps us go on the way to do what we have to do. Right. So with using the background stamp, I like to use the Stamparatus just because it just helps me get a more even look to it. So I've already mounted that on my Stamparatus, and I'm going to come in with, this is, I've got to see which ones I've got here. We are going to use these particular colors. We're going to use Old Olive, Shaded Spruce, Pear Pizzazz, and some basic white. And then this is my piece of masking tape. It happens to be 1 inch, and I just cut it across the thing. This masking tape has these that pull off to make it easy for when you go ahead and do it. And then we have a piece for the inside. So what I want to do is I want to grab this piece that is 3 3/4 by 4 inches. And I'm just going to come in, and I know that if I go and I put this right about here, that's going to kind of get me in the middle. Now, one of the hardest things that you can do is you can't use your magnets when you're using the Stamparatus with a big background stamp. So we could use repositional tape, but I'm actually going to go ahead. We're going to use our masking tape twofold. So I'm just going to take this off and these pieces off. Now, this is really sticky, and if I do keep it this way, it's going to be a real nuisance. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put it onto a piece of clothing. And I just want to take a bit of that stick away so that it's not quite as hard. And then what I want to do is I just want to bring this across here and see, instead of using repositional tape, I'm now using that masking tape to get it down in where I want it to be. Now I'm going to go ahead, and originally I was going to stamp this with Memento ink, but I think I'm going to use the Evening Evergreen to do this. So I'm just going to ink this up. I'm going to ink the whole surface up, even though I know it's not going to cover all of it. or it's not going to use the whole stamp set. But I just want to make sure that I've got it. All of it is going to be covered. Now, is that pretty close? I'm hoping. Let me just double check that. Oh, we're going to make it just right. So I'm just going to put this like this. I'm going to come in with my Chucky. And remember, I do have a video that says the most amazing tool, and it's called a Chucky. And you can make it. I have just a video, a really quick video on how to make your own Chucky. So I'm just going to make sure that that just goes down like that. See, we've missed some, so we want to make sure that we get all of that part down. And let's make sure, do we have it all stamped? Do I want to go in and maybe stamp a little bit more and get some of these other? Do we want it darker? I think we're okay with that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go across here. And let's see how we work this out. It's going to leave a bit of an edge along there, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. So now what I want to do is I want to take this off. Remember, I did rub this on my clothes, so it's actually going to come off a little bit easier than say what it would normally come off. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just, you know what, I'm going to leave that on there for now, just for the time being. And then what I want to do now is I want to get some color onto these leaves. I really wish that we had a stamp set. A stamp set that we had before would have been just absolutely amazing for this particular stamp. All right, we're going to start with the lightest color first, then we're going to go to the old olive, and then we're going to go to the evening evergreen. So let me just come in and grab some ink, and we're just going to do some sponging. We're not going to make sure that we have certain leaves that we're coloring. We're just going to go in and sponge this. And of course, just like when you do things on a stamp or on front of a card, you want to do in uneven amounts of the color. You don't want it to look like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want it to look like even amounts of the coloring. Now, what I want to do now is I'm going to go into the darker color. You notice I've started with the lighter color, and now I'm going to go in with the darker color. So this is, this may not show up as much. Yeah, there it's starting to. See, so it's going to come in just a little bit darker. And I keep forgetting that this part we're not going to have on there. So, all right. But we do want all that part along this edge here to be colored. And now with our last color, we're going to go in and we're going to go in with our evening evergreen. And we want to fill in those other parts, right? Now, this stamp set would be amazing for a lot of different techniques that we could do. We could do spotlighting with this. That would look really cool too. So see, this is giving us, if you kind of look down without that. And I think what we'll do is we'll come back in and we'll just come back in with some of the lighter colors as well. So I'm going to come back in with my Pear Pizzazz, and then let's just make sure that we've got all of that covered. All right, so let's just close that up. I'm going to need that evening evergreen again. So like I say, this is the masking paper. So I'm just coming like this. Now I can reuse this. So we want to pull this really, and I did rub that off on my clothes. Now see it, there we go. It's starting to pull up on this end here. So, and I don't know why it's doing that. So I'm just going to pull this like this. I'm going to just pull this down here. And like I say, we probably should have put that on the clothes just a bit more. I can kind of feel it pulling that paper off, and that's why you got to be so careful. Okay. Now we've got some of our ink off of our hands on there, so we don't really want that either. So I'm just going to come back in, and let's pull this very, very slowly. Now probably I can't reuse this piece, but that's okay. You get 12 sheets, and they are 5x7 sheets in this masking paper. So like I say, it was on sale. It's on sale now till next Wednesday. And this stamp set was 15% off today until 10:59 Pacific time. Okay, so it looks like I've got a bit of paper there. So I'm just going to come in with this is my glue eraser. I'm just going to go and take some of that paper off of there. I don't know why that's not working on there. Let me just come in with another piece. That's why I say you got to go really, really, there we go. Slow. And sorry, I've got a lot of shaking going on. But I want to get that glue off of there. And like I say, I'm so sorry about that. Let me just move that off of the table. And let me just rub that off. There we go. So now just to kind of cover that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my Pear Pizzazz. And let's go ahead and we're just going to sponge ever so lightly on there. See, that's so funny how that is. So the other tip is put it back on your clothes and make sure that you get a lot of that stickiness off. And you know, we've got some spots, we've got some splatters and that sort of stuff. So we might want to do something on there in order to make it so that it doesn't look quite like that. All right. So this piece is actually going to go right onto this piece of Pear Pizzazz. Does that not look pretty? This is going to go on here. But let's go ahead. The reason I did this like this was so that I could actually go in and put the sentiment on there. So I'm just going to go put a bit more of this green on there. There we go. And then we're going to come in with our evening evergreen and we're going to stamp a sentiment. Now, like I say, we could do other sentiments. This is another, we could put like thanks across there. It could be quite bold, but I really want to put this, expression on there. So I've got it already on a ink or on a stamp pad. And let's go ahead and let's ink it up in, ooh. You know what? I'm thinking I'm getting a halo. So I'm just going to turn around and let's take this off. I'll show you another way. If it's a stamp set that's got a lot of ink around it, what you want to do is just take your stamp set and stamp like this. And we're not going to get those halos. Well, we do have a halo on there. I'm going to come in with some paper towel. And I'm just going to take that off because nothing worse than going to all that work and then having to take that off. There we go. So let's go ahead and put this on there. very simple card. Sometimes we need simple cards in our life, right? So I'm just going to turn around and let's go ahead and just put that on there. So don't forget about that 15% off your stamps. Here in Canada, you have till 11:59 Mountain Time. So if you're in the Pacific, that works out to 10:59. Okay, now I want a bit of something on there. So I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and put some of this linen thread around there. So I want it to go up on an angle. So what I'm going to do is just let me cut this. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to put that so that it goes on an angle. So I'm just going to come up here and I'm going to take my tear and tape. Tear and tape is my best friend when it comes to ribbon or anything. It gets it so that it doesn't move. So we've got it kind of going like that. So let's have that going there. And that's going to keep our angle. And let's see. Now I sure didn't put that in the right spot. Anyways, we're going to come about and let's just go like this. And we actually could have used a lot less, that's for sure. So I don't know if we really want to do a bow on this, but just tie that in a knot. And you know what? I am going to tie a bow because I think I can put something on top of it and it'll look good behind it. Whoops. So when you're tying a bow onto something, this has got a lot of crinkle. It's got a lot of crinkle to it. The linen thread itself, because it's on a very thin roll. So, okay, let's just pull this down a bit. And like that. And then we can just trim that off. But we want that good and tight. Now, one other thing that I did on here was I went and I cut out from that Splendid Day. I cut some of this out and I thought, oh, it could go here. So I think what we might even do is just put some of this on here. So we want this down. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. I'm going to bring that down again right there. That's why it didn't come across. I brought it back on itself. Okay, so what we can do is we can either do this underneath. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a glue dot. I'm just going to put this up there. Let's come in with a glue dot. Hello. All right, so let's go and bring in my take your pick tool. So hard when you're used to your glue dots coming off the top, and then all of a sudden now they're coming off the bottom. I'm not sure. I must have had one I didn't rotate in my stock. I don't know. In the event, it's not working the way I want it to. There we go. Just want a bit of something on here. Okay. Let's do it there. I'm going to use that glue dot. That glue dot is just going to secure that there. And we're going to have to use another glue dot on there. I can see that right now. So we use another glue dot right under here. This is, like I say, it's just going to give us a bit. This isn't working the way I wanted that to work. And then I also have one of these also in the old olive, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on there as well. Because say this is something I thought of afterwards, and it's going to work. There we go. And then this is just going to show like it's stuff behind, so you're not really seeing that bow. I'm going to come on here, cut that off. And you know what? I think I need another glue dot. Just going to take this glue dot and let's just squish it. And this is kind of hiding up a lot of that imperfection that was from the masking tape on there. There we go. All right, now this piece can go right onto here. So it's going to go onto the piece of, just got to get this stuff out of the way, of my evening evergreen. So let's go ahead and glue that. Oh, I see why that didn't work very well with my, because they came back on themselves. That's okay. What a pretty color combination, right? And then we can go ahead and put this on the old olive. Let's use our bone folder. So this is masking tape. So masking tape has given you this look that what we've done, instead of putting a piece of paper over top of it, we've actually done it where it goes in with the stamp itself. And of course, like I say, we use those other stamps. So let's go ahead and put that on there like that. And now what we do is we have the inside here. And this is just a 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I love that size. So I'm going to come in with my old olive. Just like this. And I am just going to sponge in this corner. I've got this like so. Do I want that one, or you know what? I think I'm going to come in with an old olive. I'm just going to put that. So I'm just going to glue that on there. And then I'll trim away the excess. And then you can decide what you want to put on the inside. This is just going to go on here like so. Let's come with our trim. Just going to trim this off. So just like that. Different card, right? All right. So this is just going to go onto the inside. If you're a green lover, this is the card for you, let me tell you. You know, I went for years, I never used old olive. Years. Just like for years, I went without garden green, but I'm starting to use it now too. So, all right, so this is just going to go on the inside like so. Whoops, let's get that straight. Thank you. Different, right? Who'd ever think that that was going to turn out that way from here? So I want to go and show you. This is a stamp set. It's called Tropical Hideaway. It is a background stamp set. You can get this today for 15% off. I also use stepping stones. This one has some really, really nice sentiments on it. I really like this, or sayings. I really like this one. Wrinkles should merely indicate where smiles have been. That works really good. Yeah, follow your own star. Anyways, this one I used was an obstacle is often a stepping stone. Anyway, so there. Now, I had brought out some embellishments, and I don't even know if I need them. And I think I might just ruin them by using embellishments. Honestly, I think I'm going to just leave it completely with that. All right. So, like I say, masking paper, it's on sale for the next week. It's a great tool. One thing to learn from me doing that particular card is make sure that I've got to see where I put that. Make sure that you rub it off on your clothes and take that stickiness away, because it really did stick down here. That's why we had to put these things down here in order to cover that up, so it didn't look near as bad as what it would have. All right. So what's going on? Like I say, I agree, Lorraine. It doesn't need any. Don't forget 15% off on sale on your stamp sets. Also, the weekly sale. I know we're telling you so much, but the other thing is mark your calendars for October the 1st. It's World Card Making Day. I know Melva and I are doing World Card Making Day in the morning. Stampin' Up is doing World Card Making Day, and I'm in one that goes 24 hours. So talk about celebrating World Card Making Day. We'll see you on Saturday with another sketch challenge. Bye for now.